Welcome to Season 2 of Kindred, hosted by me, Kate, and my sister, Jen. In this podcast, we explore our human relationship to animals and the natural world.
In connecting to our world, we also connect to compassion, understanding, and empathy. How can we see ourselves not as separate from animals and nature, but part of an active ecosystem?
This season, Jen and I will focus on learning about the history of our disconnect to the natural world. What knowledge and connection have we lost and why?
We'll talk with scientists, conservationists, academics, and many others as we look to answer the question, how can we implement change in order to heal our planet?
And we'll explore how we can repair and restore our connection and relationship to our fellow keystone species and ecosystems. Hello, and welcome back to Kindred. Hello, sister. How are you today?
I am well, thank you very much. A little warm, but it's,
You're warm. We won't use any other words about how you're feeling
I'm just
with that,
warm.
with your temperature. Just warm.
Just a little warm.
It's because it's 100 degrees out today.
But,
It's okay. There's a very cute squirrel laying flat out on a branch because she also is very warm.
She is.
So she's just trying to cool it down. Poor little Muppet. So welcome back to Kindred, guys. Lovely to have you here for this very exciting episode. Today, we are speaking with Rebby Sebei, a manager at Ruko Wildlife Conservancy, working with the beautiful Rothschild giraffes in Baringo County, Kenya. And what a lovely conversation we had with her.
Yeah, that was great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just another smart, inspired human doing great things. And if you remember, we highlighted the organization Save Giraffes Now in episode 4 of season 2 this season when we spoke with the black mambas and the bush babies. They were the ones who hooked us up with Rebby. So huge thanks to Susan Myers, the founder and CEO, and David O'Connor, the president of Save Giraffes Now. Thank you for that introduction, and we were so pleased to be able to get some time with Rebby. We're not going to highlight anyone else today just because there's a lot to cover, and I want to fill you in on some important facts to prep you for this conversation. So a bit about Rebby. She started out with a degree in business and finance and was well on her way in her career in the banking world, all the while volunteering in her community and working with girls and being a voice for them in a specific context to FGM, which is female genital mutilation or female circumcision, I believe it's also called. Mm-hmm. It was at that time that the Conservancy started, and Rebby started volunteering there, which eventually sparked a passion for conservation, and she married her two loves of working with the local communities and eventually giraffe conservation.
Yeah, I love that part of the interview when she just talked about how she just had this plan, and she was just like, I felt nothing about this life that I was going into. It just did nothing for her, and the contrast of this passion of working with the community, and it just became so apparent to her that she couldn't really do it anymore because it was just like it was dead life and living
inspired life.
It was just so I loved how
that was great. Well, we'll tell you. Well, hold. Don't give any more away.
That's a teaser. That part.
Yeah, I love that part too. And I just wanted to mention too that our connection with Zoom was a little spotty at times, so there are a few terms and comments that might be hard to catch, so I just wanted to explain them to you. The first term, as I mentioned above, was FGM, which is female genital mutilation. The second is NRT, which is Northern Rangelands Trust. And the third is KWS, or Kenya Wildlife Service. So, and just going back for a second, we by no means want to just casually drive by the FGM. It's just not our focus in this conversation today. But I would urge you to look it up, Google it, and get more familiar with this experience that very young girls in pockets all over the world endure. And we will also put up a link for you to use on this subject in our show notes. So I'll just say for me, this conversation was exceptional because it beautifully examples how through animals and conservation, land and community can be healed, and how one animal can heal and restore peace to a deeply divided community. It's a model to work from and a story to be inspired by.
For sure.
So let's go meet Rebby, and we'll see you in the takeaway. Rebby, thanks so much for joining us at Kindred today. So nice to see you and meet you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, it's really excited to speak with you, and thanks so much for your time. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us what you do and where you are located?
My name is Rebby Sebei. I work with the Ruko Community Wildlife Conservancy that is situated in Lake Baringo County. I'm the manager currently at the Conservancy. That is where we have a giraffe sanctuary. Currently, we have around 11 giraffes at the moment. We also, the Conservancy also is for the two communities, that is Pokot and Ilchamus.
And you are located in, is this Western Kenya?
No, this is Baringo County.
Baringo County. Yeah. Okay, great. Excellent. So I read that you had a business degree to start, and I'm wondering what brought you from a degree in business to giraffe conservation?
Thank you so much. Okay, in my studies, I studied a business, that is finance and banking. That was in university. But I didn't find passion working with the financial institution, because right from the beginning, when I was in high school, when I was in university, most of my work, I was voluntarily working with the community in terms of including the community, especially the girl child. Like me, I grew up ensuring that I was speaking for the voiceless, for the girls, ending FGM, because in our communities, FGM is deeply rooted among the girls. So I find myself that having that passion, ensuring that the voice of the girls is being amplified, and I found that passion working with the community. And then, okay, when I was growing up, that is when the conservation in our area started. And also I had to get in. If I volunteered for like almost two years, ensuring that we engage community, bringing the peace together with the leaders, with the communities. So at the end of the day, I didn't find passion working with the financial institution. In fact, I got a job with the Kenya Commercial Bank. I got like a 6 months contract to work with the bank, but I did only for 2 months and I resigned. I said, no, I'm not staying working with computers. No, I just want to work with my community. And that's how I just left the company.
Oh, I love that. I can totally relate. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So then how did you get connected with Save Giraffes now?
In the year 2011, that is when the water kept increasing in Lake Baringo, and the giraffe were trapped in the island. So the community were worried. These two communities, Pokot and Ilchamus, were worried. What can we do now to save the giraffes? So we started sending proposal to NRT. Can you help us ensure that we get this wildlife from the island to the safe place? The community already set aside a place, a sanctuary where the giraffes can be transported. So through NRT, they connected us to Save Giraffe Now. So Save Giraffe Now gave us some funds to establish, to fence the sanctuary, to do the translocation. So that is where we started our connection with the Save Giraffe Now through NRT. That is Northern Rangeland Trust.
Okay, great. Amazing. Yeah. And we're going to get to that story in a minute, but I want to talk a little bit about giraffes specifically. And from like your perspective, why do we know so little about this animal? I mean, they're such an incredible animal. They're one of my favorites, and I've seen them in South Africa, and they're stunning and they're gorgeous. We just know so little about them. Why do you think that is?
We know little about Rothschild giraffe because these are endangered species. So in our area, that is now where they were. Some more years, like 80 years or 60 years before, that was their home. But now, because of poaching, because of the conflict between the people, the animals were killed, some of them were poached, and the people were moved. So that is why we grew up and we didn't know so much about this animal.
Yeah, they weren't even around, right?
Yes. So first thing is because they are endangered. We couldn't know because they were poached. They had to move away from their mother home. So we couldn't know more about them.
So what in your area specifically, and in general, what critical role do giraffes play in Baringo, and how do they contribute to maintaining a healthy balance in the ecosystem where you are?
Yeah, Rothschild giraffe and like other animals like zebras, like livestock, they are browsers.
Right. Oh, browsers versus grazers. Interesting. Okay.
They depend so much on the leaves, the different species of the plants, whereas the other animals are depending on grass. So that is why you find that the relationship within the Rothschild giraffe and the other wildlife, and also the animals, the livestock that people depend on, they are not competing from only source of, like now, grass. So these one, the giraffes are browsers, and the rest of the animals are grazers. So at the end of the day, it improves the ecosystem, the biodiversity also of the conservation area. So I think that is the most benefit that we've seen, that there is no much competition between the other wildlife and also the livestock.
That's so interesting. So like zebras are grazers compared to giraffe being a browser.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting.
So, Rebby, does that mean that they need a diverse diet of leaves, not just one sort of plant or tree? They would need to have more variety because of that browsing?
Exactly. They need more different species of plants, the vegetation. And for this case in Ruko Conservancy, you have so many different species. And you can even see the difference from the time we translocated them from the island to the mainland. There is a bit of big improvement because of different species, different plants. Now there is full forage.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's a really good question. So giraffe are, you're saying, like Jen, you were saying that they need that variety, but they're like the controllers of keeping like the trees and the bush like under control type thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. So I want to switch gears a little bit and ask you, I've read a little bit about the history of the conflict among communities at Baringo Lake, where you were working on giraffe conservation. Tell us about the history of the relationship of the Pokot and the Ilchamas in the Baringo Lake area.
Pokot and Ilchamus have been living together since until 2005, when conflict just stirred up between the two communities because of cattle rustling. That is what now, when the things started becoming so bad, the community started fighting, killing each other in the year 2005, 2006. People were displaced, people were killed, animals were killed. So that is the time when these two communities become too hostile for each other. They could not even meet. Whenever they meet, just killing each other. That's now 2006.
I'm just wondering, how long had they been living in peace together before that?
I think over 100 years, because they've been living together. They've never had conflict. So these are the two communities they've been living together since. They've never had any conflict in the past. That was the first conflict that happened between the two communities. Even if you can read in the history, they've never had any history of a conflict until 2005 when they started.
And tell me what started the conflict again?
This was through cattle rustling. The two communities started fighting each other, started killing each other because of livestock, and eventually these two communities were displaced. Where they were living now became a battleground. So the Pokot people were pushed, the Ilchamus people were pushed. So where they were living became a battleground that no one could even reach there. So after some time, the elders from the both sides, that is Pokot and Ilchamus, came to sit down. They said, until when are we killing each other? We've been killing each other for over 2 years. There is no profit. There is nothing we are gaining, nothing, just loss of lives. Can we sit down and see what we can do to ensure that we bring these two people together? So that is one now when the two elders said, this battleground where we were living, that we've turned to be a battleground, we want to convert it to be a conservation area. This was the home for Rothschild giraffe, and also it's called Baringo giraffe. So the elders said, we need to move back the giraffe as a sign of peace, and we bring the giraffe to the battleground. This is the area now that we will convert to conservation area.
Wow.
That is now where the history of giraffe and conservation started. So the community reached out to the KWS, and that is when they were, the giraffes were translocated into the battleground that was now changed into community conservancy. And then it was given the name Ruko. Ruko now is an acronym of the two communities. So RU stands for Rugu's location, that is from Ilchamus people. And the KO stands for Komolion, that is for Pokot people. So the name Ruko is just acronym for the two communities.
Wow, that is incredible. That is an incredible story. And you've played a huge role in that. And I find that just incredible that the two elders could come together, if that's what you're saying, and sit down and say, we need to change this. This is not sustainable. This is terrible. And then, and using giraffes as the peacekeepers, the peacemakers, like the peace offering almost. And I was going to ask you, that was my next question, is how do the giraffes support peace between these two communities? I mean, and so how does that play out?
Giraffe, for the two communities, giraffe is a symbol of peace, because they had to move the giraffe to back to their native home, a battleground. And now they have a mandate to ensure that these giraffes are protected. So first of all, they've put aside their differences. They are not having any conflict. They are now focusing on ensuring that the giraffe is protected. That is now the story of ensuring that there is peace between the two communities. There is no time to battle for the livestock, cows and goats. It's now time to protect the giraffe. When we see giraffe, we see peace. When giraffe is protected, we know that the communities are protected. That was the elders' mandate to the community. The giraffe were brought to the battleground. They've been living there peacefully. And every time the two communities see giraffe, they see this is the sign of peace that brought us together. Right now, Pokot and Ilchamus are living very well. They are doing the activities together. Giraffe is just grazing with the animals. So giraffe is a big, big, big sign of peace to them.
How incredible is that? That this beautiful animal can just create this moment of pause, start a new conversation. People can hear each other. They have a same focus. Now they're working together on a focus because you've brought these animals back. That's gorgeous how nature and animals can bring us together to create this peaceful place. That's beautiful.
It seems like now that they have never gone back to that fighting and they just are living peacefully together now. Yes?
Yes. Right now, the two communities are living together. They're even attending the ceremonies together. When we're having like any ceremony in the conservancy, we bring them together. They do even celebration. Like every year, we normally celebrate like World Giraffe Day. They come, they dance together. The Pokot are dancing, the Chamus are dancing. They exchange a lot of so many things. And this one has strengthened the relationship between the two communities. Again, from 2011, when the Rothschild giraffe was reintroduced to Ruko giraffe, not even one was poached or armed with anyone.
Amazing.
Those that we lost maybe were due to infection and so many other things, but no one harmed the giraffe.
Not a human cause. There's no human giraffe conflict there. That is incredible. I'm blown away by this. So I just want to talk to you before we go quickly about, you had started to talk about the giraffe that were on the little island of Longacharo in Lake Baringo. And tell us the story about that.
Yeah, in the year 2011, that is now when the communities requested the KWS, that is Kenya Wildlife Service in Kenya, to bring them giraffes. And we received 11 giraffes, and we had to put them in Longacharo. For your information, Longacharo was never an island. It was just a mainland. It was just a mainland. So that's where the community decided our giraffe will stay here. Then 2011, Lake Baringo and all other lakes within Rift Valley started swelling. Every year from 2011, it kept swelling, 2013 kept swelling, until where the giraffe started or became now an island. The water started surrounding, then it became an island.
Oh, it became an island.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
And the giraffes were trapped in the island. That is how it started to be an island. So initially it was still a big space. We felt comfortable, like maybe they can stay here, but now the water didn't go back. It kept swelling. 2015, 2016, 2017, now it started becoming worried. The space was becoming small, and it was disappearing.
Yeah.
So that is when we started now becoming worried. How can we remove the giraffe from the island to the mainland? They cannot swim. They are not people. There is no vehicle.
Right.
Yeah. So that is now when communities started being worried. They were like, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? We cannot put them in a boat. Boat is small, too small for the giraffe. And also they started we started experiencing a lot of challenges, like the mothers started losing the young ones because they could not get enough food. The space was becoming too small. They could not drive well. And you see, for giraffe, they need a bigger space. They can walk. But now this is started becoming too small.
Yeah.
So we lost most of the babies every year, like the giraffes giving birth, then the babies get infection, they die. That's now the time we started reaching out to the people that we need help. We need to move the giraffe immediately from the island to the mainland. So we reached out to the government, we reached out to the NRT, and I'm glad that NRT came strongly to us, connected us with so many partners, including now the Save Giraffe now.
Mm-hmm.
That they came to us. We needed some funding to make a badge, and this badge that we used to translocate for the animals was an idea from the rangers, Ruko Rangers.
Oh, interesting.
The rangers were visited and they'll say, "Can you do something like a floating badge? Maybe we can put the giraffe and start to translocate them." And then someone came to us. We had to make the idea into reality. So we started to build the first funds that we got. We built a giraffe badge, whereby we could we made it was very simple. We used plastic drums and a little bit of reinforcement with metallic strings. So after the badge was done, we had now to train the giraffe feed on the badge, because these are big animals. You cannot force them into the badge. So, from 2017 2018, the rangers were strictly trying to train the giraffes to feed inside the badge. So we could get food, leaves, put inside the badge.
Mm-hmm.
along the shores of the lake. We try to get the giraffe inside the badge. They could feed and get back. At times they don't want to feed inside.
Right.
For over 2 years, we've been training them until when it was like it's obvious for them. They just get in, take food. So when we got the funds for translocation, that's now when we started the process. And the first giraffe, I'm happy that it got to the badge. the rangers were just feeding, and then when it go to the badge, the badge was clamped, and then you can pull them via boat to the mainland.
That's incredible.
And I'm happy to tell you that the first giraffe that we translocated, it was like a miracle to the communities, because the community was just waiting at the mainland.
On the other side, yes. It must have been a huge celebration.
Yeah, and for me, it was, I don't know, I couldn't even explain. I was so anxious. I couldn't know what will happen. So I was like keeping quiet. I couldn't even talk.
Right.
But finally, we did the translocation for all the giraffes successfully. Nothing bad happened.
Wow.
That is a miracle.
Rebby, did they all go in one trip, or did they have to make many trips?
We made many trips, like 1 year. We could even like do one trip this month, another trip next month, like that. Something we noticed about the giraffe, when we translocated the first one, the rest were not even happy. Also, again, feeding in the badge. It's like they knew something is not working here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So they had to shy away from the badge. And we also had to entice them back again for like 2 months, 3 months, until they forget. So it was a journey of like 1 year.
Okay.
They got very suspicious of that thing moving their mother, brother, sister, father, like off in the distance, it's just floating around. And it's incredible. I've seen a picture of it where it's just this giraffe head. And did you cover their heads?
Yes, we covered the head.
Okay.
Yeah, we covered the head.
How did you reach their heads? How do you cover them?
We made something like a cup using a sack.
Uh-huh.
The sisal, I don't know if you know about the sisal sack. So we made something like a cup, a big one. So when it enters the bag, then we just put in the head, and it has two rods. Then every time we need to make it. We fasten with the rod.
I got you. Okay, you had tall rods. That makes sense. So you created a bag for this, specifically for their head. That is incredible. What a massive undertaking that is. Just amazing. And you got everyone across safely.
All of them safely to the mainland.
Wow.
Now, is this little tiny island? Is it still there, or is the water covered it?
Yeah, it's still there, but it keeps on disappearing because the water has never gone back. We don't know the science about the lakes, because it's not only Lake Baringo, but the lakes around Rift Valley.
Okay, interesting. That was going to ask you, like, why is the water rising? But I guess you don't know.
Yeah, at the moment we don't know. So many myths. We don't know which one is true. People are saying maybe they become tectonic forces downwards, or maybe it's because of drilling that is happening, the geothermal drilling. So there are so many myths, but we don't know at the moment. Interesting.
Well, thank you so much, Rebby. The work you're doing, I mean, the story of the two communities coming together because of giraffe conservation is just so inspiring. And the story of getting these giraffe off this little, newly sprung island is just incredible. Thank you so much. We'd love to talk to you again and see how things are going. But before I go, I just want to ask you one more question. How many giraffe? You said you have 11 or 12 giraffe on the reserve now?
11.
And how are they doing? Are they reproducing? Are you introducing more giraffe?
Right now they're reproducing. We translocated them when they were 9. Right now we have 3 babies.
Oh, cute. Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, in fact, we have one which is 1 week old.
Oh, beautiful. Well, that's exciting.
But at the moment, because we have a big sanctuary, we have the carrying capacity, like we need a big number for the giraffe. We already requested to the KWS to give us more giraffe. And I think it's on the process. Save Giraffe now has helped us with the funds to ensure that the translocation happens. So we are just waiting for the government to give us go ahead. At any time we'll have more giraffes.
Thanks to Save Giraffes Now for putting me in contact with you. What an inspiration to talk to you. Just so exciting to hear about the growing population. So congratulations on the new babies too.
Thank you so much. I know the community is happy so much, and Save Giraffe now it's like a miracle that happened to us, because without them, we don't know how we could get the giraffes out of the island. Maybe by this time we could have lost some of them, but giraffe came in a special way. It touched our lives, the community's life in a special way, and we are forever indebted to SGN and NRT.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Rebby. All the best of luck. Be safe, and we'll keep an eye on how things are going. We'd love to talk to you again. Thanks so much, Rebby.
Thank you so much. Feel free to talk to me anytime.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, we are back with a takeaway, and we have two main highlights today. I think the two, I don't know about you guys listening, but our main ones were, number one, just the inspiring story of how two warring communities came together and were healed, all in the name of giraffe conservation. And the second we'll get to in a second, but of course the story of the giraffes on the little island in Baringo Lake. But yeah, just thinking about how two elders came together and said, this is terrible, we're killing each other, they're ruining the land. It was all absolute disaster. And said, we need to stop and listen and talk to each other. And then how that led to the conservation being able to come in, and these communities agreeing that we are gonna now focus on healing and restoring the land, and we are gonna protect these giraffes, and that's gonna be our focus. And it was their inspiration, and it became like their North Star and symbol of. She was saying how when they see the giraffe, they see that as their symbol of peace.
Yeah. Well, and how almost ridiculously simple it was. Like, hey, we could go work together over here. And then it was kind of like, okay, let's do that. And that was sort of the end of the strife. I mean, it stopped after that.
Yeah, because she said there was no more killing, not one animal was poached, nothing. And since then, there has just been absolute peace. It was just incredible.
I mean, it seems like maybe 1 million different issues in this world could have something like, if only we could come together and decide quickly and unilaterally, let's work on something together. And just that, the beauty to me of when human beings collaborate and work together for a bigger purpose, so many issues can just melt away. That's right. What it felt like to me, and that it seems so ridiculously simple, but how profound that is in that simplicity I was blown away. I remember just thinking, wait, that was it? It was just done?
Well, and I think it's a testament to the two elders, their positions and their dedication to absolutely making it stop and just not turning back. We are going forward, and this is the way we're going. And I've never heard a story where conservation has
brought people together like that and healed.
Yes.
Well,
I don't know any story like that. I'm sure there are, and if any of you guys have any stories like that, please email us and let us know, because it was astonishing.
Yeah. And you're 100% right, though. It speaks also to the position of those elders and the trust that people must have in them, too, because they just fell in and, this is what we're doing now. I don't know that would work everywhere, but yes, I would love... I wonder if I had never heard anything at all like that.
And I'd like to look into a little bit more about the rising water. I'm curious if the rising waters in the area had anything to do with, just we have to things are changing rapidly here. What is happening? But a beautiful, inspiring story. But that leads us to the second point of these, I think she said there were 11 giraffes that were stranded ultimately by rising waters, which they still don't, Rebby didn't know why the waters were rising, and that these giraffe, then this island was created by this rising water, and these giraffes
were stranded.
Got stranded there, and then just the amazing, like, the time they took. They built the barge, and we will put a link on the website to that story. And it will be through the Save Giraffes Now website, because they've got it all laid out with really good photographs.
Oh, cool.
So you can see sort of step by step. And you see how Rebby was talking about, because I was like, how do you get, you know, a bonnet, a bag over their head? And they kind of, you know, they built these walls and they climbed up. And then she said they used poles. But just the fact that they trained them to get them onto the barge, and then they let them back off. And you had asked, you know, how long did it take? And it's not like they loaded up a bunch of giraffe. And I know that she sort of touched on it, how if you have to keep giraffes standing, and then, you know, you can't really sedate them, because if they fall, it's really dangerous. So just a great story. A great story. And how it must have been so cool for the people who lived there to watch this process happen. And just, I imagine the celebration when they got the last one off, and just the dedication to, okay, we have a responsibility here to help. And it was a long process. It wasn't quick. That's right. And she did. They had a big party. Yeah. She said everybody celebrated.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Just a beautiful moment of coming together in the name of helping those that cannot help themselves.
Right. A kindness party, it feels like. And just what a beautiful thing when, like, nobody could disagree that was a lovely thing to save those. Yeah, it was such a great conversation. It was.
I really enjoyed her passion and her dedication, and I loved her story, how she got from, you know, a degree in finance and working at a bank, and was like, this is not inspiring, this is not for me, and that she was able to just sort of kind of go and sort of seamlessly into the giraffe conservation was really great.
And one of those beautiful stories about how people just realize that I want more out of my life than just taking home a paycheck and clocking in, that she actually, I think, even sort of said that what she does now doesn't feel like work, because she loves it so much. So she's excited to be there and do that. And that's also, if more of us could have that freedom to have our passion be how we can make a living, what a lovely thing that is too. Such an inspiring goal. So
so thanks so much to Rebby for speaking with us, and she invited us. It's on record.
She did.
Well, I don't know if she said that in the interview, but she did invite us down there. So maybe we'll take this show on the road and take a quick jaunt. You know,
a real quick jaunt down to Africa. Yeah,
it's just 1,000,000 miles away. No big deal.
It's fine.
Just fly to Kenya. Always wanted to go. So thanks, guys. That's right. Thanks, guys, for listening, and we will see you. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Lots of love. Kindred is hosted by me and my sister Jen, produced by Kat Gaddy and myself, sound production and editing by Dan Cooper, original music by Ellie Grace, and our Kindred artwork was created by Lindsay Coffin. Please follow, rate, and review wherever you listen to podcasts, and feel free to contact us through our website at kindredpodcast.co, where you can also find links to our socials, Patreon page, and show notes.